Endurant was developed to be easy to maintain. So right from the get-go in our requirements, we knew that we had an aspect of meeting the needs of the technician servicing this product. We can service new areas of the transmission we hadn't been able to service before. Things like our new input shaft sleeve design.
What we see sometimes is pilot bearings wear out, and as a pilot bearing wears, it can create wear on that input shaft. And so this way, what we can do is, if there is evidence of pilot bearing wear, when we pull that transmission down, you can inspect it. Before, you used to have to replace the entire input shaft, but now all we have to do is replace that pilot bearing wear sleeve.
The oil life being the longest in the industry at 750,000 miles means that a lot of owners are never going to have to change the oil when they buy this truck. It's still good for the life they have it. That saves a lot in hassle and worry of keeping their fleet up to date and keeping their trucks on the road.
We have a force lubed system that directs the oil straight to the gears. So that minimizes the amount of oil that we had to have in the transmission. Then, in addition to that, our gear design, changing over to a helical cut gear, cleaner tooth design, that leveraged us to use less lube overall.
The clutch is maintenance free. This is another improvement from the fleet perspective.
Benefit to the first time buyer for the Endurant transmission is that it's very likely that he may never need to service the clutch. The clutch release bearing, for example, is looped for life, and it maintains its clamp load over life since it's self-adjusting clutch.
IntelliConnect was launched in 2016. This is our telematics capability. With IntelliConnect, fleets are able to monitor their systems, their trucks remotely, to allow them to plan repairs rather than have unscheduled downtime.
It's very important to our fleets that everything can be scheduled or understood. It's a lot of money to have a truck go down for maybe a nuisance fault that wasn't necessary to pull it off the road. Fleets in the U.S. like to service their products. So once it's out of warranty, they want to be able to service it themselves. So we made it very simple, very easy to service.
So as far as helping to assist the technician to effectively find a root cause within the transmission, we've created breakout boxes to where we actually connect the breakout box to the connector on the transmission. And then we have a panel with leads in which they can diagnose, which they can test out a circuit inside the transmission or even in the transmission control module. And then on top of it, we got mechanical tools, a tool that actually actuates our synchronizer inside the transmission. You can validate that does this particular part move properly.
You can tear this transmission apart in about 30 minutes and put it back together. It's very quick. And that was one of the things that the customers wanted, was they wanted to be able to service the transmission and get it back on the road.